Now let's talk about warping segments. Sometimes it's necessary to do a little bit of tweaking beyond just changing the pitch. Maybe a singer sang a note a little too long or not long enough. Well, we can easily fix that. Make sure that pitch and warp mode is activated. Now we can simply click and drag the beginning and end of a segment to change its timing. When we warp segments like this, any segments that connect or are adjacent to the segment we're warping will be warped as well. If we're not happy with the changes, we can reset the segment by selecting it and then choosing Warp Changes from the Reset menu. We can also reset pitch in the same drop-down. Notice when we change the segments around, these warp tabs appear. We can use these to change how the audio is warping as a whole. Let me show you what I mean. Zoom in on the first segment. Let's warp the segment so that it lines up with the next grid line. Notice that even though the segment is now lined up with the grid, the start of the audio isn't. A lot of the time, this audio will contain breath sounds or mouth noises that we don't want to pitch, so we don't need it as part of the segment anyway, but we may want to adjust its timing. To do so, we can use the Warp tabs. Click on the tab and drag to the left until the orange area totally covers the beginning of the audio file. Now release the mouse button. Cool. Now the audio starts right at bar 2. This is super useful when trying to get the timing of things just right. The last feature I want to talk about is Extract MIDI. This allows us to extract MIDI data from the part. It's perfect if you want to create a score of the part to give to someone, or if you want to use the note data for a MIDI instrument. Click on Extract MIDI. There are several options here. For the pitch mode, we can choose to extract just the notes without the pitch bend data, notes and static pitch bend data, or notes and continuous pitch bend data. If we select static pitch bend, a pitch bend event will be created for every segment. We can then select a pitch bend value from 1 to 24 in the pitch bend range field. If we select notes and continuous pitch bend events that correspond to the micro pitch curve will be created. Once again, we can select a pitch bend value from 1 to 24 in the pitch bend range field. Finally, we need to select a destination. Let's choose New MIDI Track. And there's our MIDI data. Now we can send it to an external or a VST instrument. VariAudio is great for correcting pitch, but don't forget, there are lots of other reasons to head to this window.